guys, so you know that movie that like literally everybody else in the entire world has seen except for I'm like I think the last person to see it? Yeah guys, I finally saw Allegiant. Okay, now I read the book Allegiant years and years and years ago. Like, I don't remember the plot. I don't remember any crucial things that happened. I literally barely remember it all. I just remember the character deaths. Or a certain character death. So I went into it, I'm like, I bet I'm gonna have a great positive review about this movie. And I have like a mediocre one. Even if I don't remember the plot, there's something I see and I'm like, that never, ever would happen. That's, what is the hell is that? There was like a couple of those scenes. My favorite part was definitely 4. So we start off where all the other people accused of treason are on trial, but they're not really on trial, they're basically on execution, and all the other people want them dead, so that is what Evelyn, Ford's wonderful mother, is doing. You have that scene between Caleb and Beatrice where like Caleb is in a cage on this side and Beatrice is standing like over here watching. He's like, Beatrice, don't let me die! And I finally started liking Caleb. I really don't like him because he like never does anything, but this one he finally does, so thank you, Lord Almighty. Okay, we start off with Trish and Ford, and they're going through this whole we're going to leave phase, and I'm pretty sure they did not leave this way in the book. I don't remember them ever scaling up a wall sideways. There's this whole, I'm perfectly fine with the world not existing if you're still with me, and I thought they did a very good job of the characters' relationship troubles and the character's development. I really did not like Trish in this one, and I don't remember if I didn't like her in the book or not, so I honestly can't tell you if they kept that accurate or not. Oh, Trish is a miracle. No, she wasn't. She wasn't a miracle. Yes, she was pure, but she wasn't a miracle. There were thousands of others like her. She just happened to be the one who got over the wall first. She's not a miracle. She's just the first one who does anything. When they're climbing up this wall going sideways, there's this scene where this truck is following them because they rescued Caleb. And that whole rescue Caleb scene was kind of stupid because Ford just walks in, it's just like, yo, you're coming with me. Walks out, like, do you think that's a good plan? They know who you are. And as they're climbing up the wall, you got Tori and Christina and Peter comes along. The guy who played Peter, his sarcasm, sense of humor, it was great. I was laughing at a lot of the lines he had said. They climb over this wall and they get inside it, and suddenly Trish dashes down, disembarks off the rope, and she's just running, and Ford's behind her with his little machine gun, like blocking her, and she gets this old abandoned car and she blows it up, which I thought was so cool. And then she's running back to Ford and she jumps in his arms. Could never see that happening in the book though. Right after they get over the wall, they're in fucking Mars, okay? Why is everything red? It is not red in the book. They are not on Mars, guys. They are just right outside Chicago. It just looks exactly like Chicago. It's not Mars, man. It's like red and white, and there's these crevices, I don't even know. And then as they're walking through the little crevices, it starts raining, and it's raining blood. It looked like blood. Like there was it looked like blood in the river, and when Tobias moved his arm, I was like, oh my god, he's bleeding. But no, it's just like raining blood, because you're on fucking Mars. I don't know. Why is this happening? And then Peter's like, oh great guys, raining blood. Glad we did this. It was really funny. And then there's this part where they're going through this little crevice, and they hear this engine, and they're like, oh my god, somebody's coming for us, and they seem so elated. I don't even know why they weren't mildly prepared, but they weren't. And they all slow-mo turn, and then the Jeep sets up with that guy who was tracking him, and they just lock eyes, like Trish and him lock eyes for like 5 dramatic long seconds as he shoots over, and then afterwards she just stands there for 2 seconds, and then she's like, run! And I don't know why are you waiting? I don't know what they thought they were going to accomplish by like outrunning a Jeep thing, whatever, but they finally end up running to the people of the new world of the Bureau. They have this huge, great technology, and they welcome all of them in, and then they see that guy in the car, and he's like, uh-oh. And then they blast him with what looked like electricity, and I was like, oh, he's dead. And then a couple scenes later, he's back at Evelyn's. I'm sorry, did your car survive that? And you? What? And that's this whole, oh, welcome. And I was like, oh, okay. Yay, they found their people. Let's get the manipulation started. They're like, we're going to hold you for decontamination so you can't get infected by the radiation, whatever the shit they have there. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And my eyes flickered down from the screen for literally 0.001 seconds. And I look back up and I'm like, why did they put them in fucking bubbles? What was it with bubbles? They were transferring themselves all the time in bubbles. Do these Science Bureau people have some fantasy to do with bubbles? Another thing that really irked me was Tristan was always in freaking white. Literally after they get there and they have this stupid sour scene where Trish walks in and they drop this bubble on her. It was almost like sculpture paste hardening, something like that, because she just stops mid-scream. I was just laughing because I'm like, what is she doing? And then the water comes and she's fine again. And then she has that dramatic, oh, look at me, I have a barcode that's full, I'm a purebred, and Ford does it, and he's missing a boy, he's damaged, and he's not allowed up to David, the captain. And I really liked how they showed the couple being torn apart, because Trish was like always with David, and Ford was like always with Nita or somewhere alone. And then David's like, I know this separation is hard for you. I'm sorry, Mr. Head Director of the whole community guy, did you just become a relationship specialist? Who the F would you talk? We're seeing what's going on in Chicago, as well as what's going on in this new city, whatever. Chicago, we have the Amity head lady that I don't remember the name of, has this whole army, and we have Evelyn and her whole army, and they're now divided. You were divided, you came together so you could divide again. And there's this one dramatic scene, I really liked it though. You have the Amity and you have Evelyn, and they both meet and they're divided by this gate, and then they're like, well, I know I said I'd come alone, but I'm not a candor nor Amity. And then everybody comes back to Evelyn, and you think the other woman would be horrified, but she just looks at her and she goes, see the scars? I didn't get it from being Amity. I wasn't born here. Then everybody comes and backs it up, and you can tell that's basically when the little war starts. As we're in this stupid new world with this really stupid technology, which I really didn't like, they kept saying all this time these people had watched Ford and Trish and all of them grow up, and I'm like, that's really creepy. You have David, this master manipulator, and he's like, we can save everybody once I get approval from the council, which I can now prove based off your DNA, and he takes the DNA and all this other crap, and she's never with Ford, and I don't know, but the one moment they were, couple moments they had such fantastic chemistry. Like, Fortress was okay, and the looks at me, I was like, oh, okay, they're cute, have fun over there, but in So, I'm like, oh my god, make that scene, it's so adorable, they love one another because they're going through all this shit together, and I'm like, oh no, what's gonna happen at the end when we have that one character death nobody wants to talk about? Where the F is Octavian? Like, he's gonna come in, like, second one, right? Because this whole him not being here thing ain't working for me. We meet Nita. If you read Allegiant, second half of it, Nita gets a little problematic in Fortress. Even though she had like less than 50 lines, I kind of like her. I can kind of see where she's going. Let's talk about these stupid drones. They go in the scene and then she's like, here are these 4 drones, and then you touch this and you start your headgear on and you move your left hand and the drones start hunting for their target. And it's like, okay, whatever. And then she's like, it'll take a while to get hang of it. And then Forrest like shooting everything. And then at the very end, he turns around and just shoots something behind him. He's like, I think I got the hang of it. And then they have this another confrontation between Trish and Ford, and things aren't going well. And Caleb's like, hey, yo, the war is starting in Chicago. After Trish leaves again, Forrest's like, I'm gonna go to there's land that started with an F that I can't remember, but it was like this dangerous land. And we had that flashback memory chip that Trish had from her mother's eyes, where her mother was a child and was kidnapped by the Bureau. That whole scene was so emotional because I'm just, imagining her with her mother right now. And I'm just like, oh, no. That one was really well done. I didn't mind the technology then. Then as Ford goes on this mission, my God, was it horrifying. he's going in there and he shoots this boy's dad. He realizes what they're doing and taking all these children, and then later on in this factory they're taking this. Okay, I had a little problem with the serum. The serum is supposed to be an injection. Like, you know the truth serum they have in the little injection gun? That's exactly what's supposed to be the memory serum and the death serum, which comes in later. It's a little injection. You just inject it into the neck. You don't need some weird gas mask thing. I don't know what this is. But that one scene before with the kidnapping of all the children and watching as their minds went blank. And then after this, Forrest's like, I'm going back to Chicago. And he barges in. He takes this woman's wrist or whatever. And he's like, Tris, come with me. And there's this big ass dramatic moment. And Tris is like, no. Tris thinks he's doing the right thing, because I was annoyed with you, Tris, in this one, but I was probably annoyed with you in the book too, so I don't even know. I'm gonna leave that alone. And then Forrest's like, I'm going back to Chicago, and one of those high up guys looking for David is like, oh, I'll take you to Chicago, and they put him in this jet, and immediately I had already known they're not going to Chicago. Why would Forrest go to Chicago without Caleb or Christina? At least Christina, because he can kick ass. Why? He wouldn't just go it alone. And then as they're up in the air, he's like, oh yeah, we're not going to Chicago. And Forrest kicks everybody's ass. Oh my god, there was like 15 people. He's just knocking them out. And I'm like, oh, it's amazing. He's like a one-man army. You don't need anybody else when you have Forrest. It was beautiful. Except for he saw the pilot and the plane thing crashed. After Tris goes with David to this council meeting, which is a big ass joke because all they're here for was funning. I don't give a shit about her pure bleedness. She has this dawning moment of horror where she realized Forrest was right, and then she gets back and she's like, where's Forrest? And nobody can find him. And then she goes to Caleb, and I did like how Caleb and Tris fixed their brother-sister relationship in this one, where she's like, I don't need you to tell anybody this, but I need you to find Forrest. And then they call in Peter, and they send him in. And first I'm like, WTF, Peter? And you see Forrest, and he gets out of the stupid plane, and he sends Matthew back, and he tells Tris, and they're all on the hunt for Forrest. And Forrest's like limping, covered in redness, I can't tell his blood or whatever, and going back to Chicago. And I'm like, are you gonna walk there? And he finds this abandoned truck. He just passes out in it. That's where they find him, and they arrest him. Good job, Evelyn. Mother of the Year. Arrest your son when he's trying to help you. Okay. Tris gets Christina and Caleb, and they get into the director's plane jet thingy, egg bubble looking thing. And he's like, you can't fly. She's like, watch me. And she touches like 3 buttons and she can fly. But I loved when she flew down there, and Nita gave her some guns and weapons, and she's like, you're not the only one who hates David. And I'm like, oh, I can see this going somewhere in the next one. When they get back to Chicago, basically we're going to release all this memory serum on everybody to forget about everybody ever so that they can win the war. And Forrest keeps trying to warn his mother not to do that, and it's like, I'm going to end the war. You'll see. It'll be fine. No! At least listen to a person who came from the other side, okay? And then she's being blackmailed by Peter, because, okay, that one scene where she put the memory serum on Forrest's father, and then she's like, you trained him by beating a child or whatever, and she just hits him upside the head with the gun, and he has some weird, like, out-of-body feeling when he gets the serum. It was so cool, like that. Peter blackmails, Evelyn into pushing the button to release all of the gas to make everybody's memory wipe. And it's like 87% complete. And then Caleb lands, he's like, I'll see if I can find a way to turn this off. And he's finally being useful after 2 2/3 of movies. He's finally useful. Christina and Tris get out. Tris is finally wearing black. Like, she can only wear black when she wants to kick ass. Her in her white skirt and high heels, I'm like, oh my god, that's not Tris. Somebody get us some combat boots. But they were just slaying. They were just kicking ass left and right with their stupid annoying drones. There was this one part though where this drone decontaminate somebody. This drone though picked up this guy. He's like, oh, put me down. He's in a fucking bubble again. They slaying everybody. They making their way to 4. And as there's 2 guards left, 4 gets out and it's like, bam, bam. Yeah, I'm done. I can kill some bitches. And they come around and then you have Tris and 4 just stood making out with Christina right there and full of dead guards. I'm like, hashtag inappropriate kissing moment. All we were missing was the dramatic music, which thankfully they did not do. Now they have to get to Evelyn, and they get there, and she's locked the door. It's like 80% done. Peter's there. 4 finally calls her mom after never, ever before doing that. And she has this heartbreaking look on her face. And like I said, I love the acting. 4 was kicking ass. Tris was like swapping sides properly. Evelyn was going through her emotional little problems. And then he's like, it'll erase everybody's memory. I won't remember who you are anymore, Mom. And then she just tries to stop it, and you think she did, and it's fine. And then Peter just shoots her in the leg, and then it's like, okay, I'm going to keep going with that idea. I don't know why they hadn't figured out that the memory stone was going to come in the vault. Like, David manipulated every single person ever. Didn't they figure this out? As Caleb figures out a way to shut off the gas, he gets the connection cut, so he's just running, and I absolutely love that scene when he was running frantically, and at one point he takes somebody who pointed a gun at him and flings him into the memory loss, whatever. It was just finally, he's not fighting, but doing something. Thank you. He gets there, he's like, Tris, I know how to cut it off. And then there's this stupid projection of stupid David. He's like, Tris, you've lost. There's no way. And she's tracking her drones. I don't know why 4 didn't come with her. They had more guns. Why couldn't 4 go in the tunnel too? Him go down the staircase, her go down this all. It would have been, I don't, why? Why not? She goes in there, and like 2 of her drones get stuck up before they steal the wall. And David's like, I control everything. Okay, psychopathic dude in the wall. And then Caleb's like, hey, yo, another way, down the stairs. And she's going down the stairs, she fails, and then you start hearing the beeping of the stupid detectives, and then she turns a gun, and she just blasts open the whole freaking wall. Well, that was kind of cool. And shoots the gas thing off, and then suddenly, like, all the gas just disappears. The gas, expelling it of the tubes was stopped. I was like, okay, but then like the gas in the city just disappeared. Oh my god, can we talk about that part of very end when Miles is like staring at the invisible door? I'm still not over the stupid invisible door. And he's like, open your damn door! I want your penthouse. Yeah, just 1 room. Just give me a bunk. I don't even want anything. Open the damn door. I want to see Peter get his memory wiped like it was in the book, because it actually got wiped in that one. That would give me just like clueless and stupid. And then there's this powerful message Tris delivers at the end. Chicago's our home. You're not taken away from us. You know, bits come and get us, basically, setting up the plot for the next one. I loved it with her like leaning against 4 at the end. Oh, Fortress is gonna knock me on my ass in the next one. Like I said, though, it had fantastic chemistry and fantastic character development and a good plot. I would just say this. If I had never read the book, this probably would have been one of my favorite movies ever. But because I've read the book, it was like a B-. Or like 2 different scales they ranked it on. But I don't think it was that bad. It was like B-. It was pretty good. It was still a lot better than Insurgent. Thank you very much. Haven't beat Divergent yet. I'm Annalyse. Thank you for watching. Bye!